I, Raghav Singh, on behalf of the Mentorship Project, I'm delighted to have with me Sumant Nayak, sir. Sumant, sir, welcome to the Mentorship Project for this very important session for the law students. This session is going to answer a lot of questions which law students have in regard to how to get a job in law firm. Before we go forward with the interview or this session, let me give a brief introduction about Sumant sir. So Sumant sir is right now working as a senior partner in Desai and Diwanji law firm at Gurugram. Sir specializes in disputes, M&A, infrastructure, IBC. And Sir has graduated from Sambalpur University. Sir has also pursued management degree from Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar. Sir is also a qualified CS. Also, Sir has an experience of more than 2.5 decades in law. So we are delighted to have Sir among us for this very insightful session. So Sir, I welcome you to the Mentorship Project. And before we proceed, I would like to tell everyone that Sir has graciously accepted our request since Sir is associated with the Mentorship Project as an expert mentor since its inception. So Sir, welcome to the Mentorship Project. We are delighted to have you.
Thank you, Raghav, and good morning to everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you all. Thank you.
Right. So, sir, the very first question that I have for you is that there are recruitments which are going on in law firm, and you being a senior partner in such a reputed law firm, the first and foremost question is, what actually do you look for a law student who has applied for Desai and Diwanji or who would apply for any prestigious law firm? What are those skill sets? Why I ask this question is because nowadays there are too many avenues which are available for a law student once he enters into a law school. There are moot courts, there are publication, there are courses that they would do, and then people would say that, oh, if you do this, that this would brighten your chances to enter into a law firm. So what are those specific skill sets, and whether pursuing some or the other form of extracurricular activities or these courses which are available would brighten a chance of any law student to enter into a law firm?
Let me tell you, there are 2 points of entry of students in a law firm. Firstly, the entry point is in the beginning when they just qualify and they enter. Let's pick up that one, then we'll pick up at the lateral entry.
Correct, sir.
Stage of the entry, what we would look for in law firm would be the academics. How good the student was in his academics. That will be surely be a crucial factor. So if someone is really good, how well has he studied, that will matter a lot. So it is always advisable to focus on academics and secure a good, I'm not saying just securing marks. It should be a wholesome development. If in a law school, you should be participating in moot, you should be participating in sports, you should be participating. So it should be an overall, personality development, not just one aspect.
Right.
Because lawyering it's a social science. In social science, you should be attached to you should be connected to the society. Not so in that situation, what we would look how the person is connected, how social the person is, how well has he been his facets in life, not just academics. But having said so, first thing is academics. Second thing I'll tell you, for lawyers, remember always that communication is very important. Because what is your job in a law? The lawyer's job is to communicate. Suppose in a litigation or even in a transaction, you are communicating with the judge, you are communicating with the other lawyer who is negotiating with you. In that situation, how well you communicate, how unambiguously you communicate, that will be very crucial. Similarly, I'll tell you the analytical ability, another thing, how well you analyze the situation, how logically, in a cogent manner, you analyze the situation. So some of the times you may not have the proper answer for you, but in your mind it will strike what should be the answer for this. So these are some of the attributes. It's just an illustrative list of attributes This is not the conclusive list.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. So we got this clarity that the more you will develop these three skill set that you have told, be it through academics, be it through your activities, this is anyway going to help you in recruitment of any prestigious law firm, right, sir?
Surely,
Sir,
surely.
yes, sir. So second question is that there is this belief that if you go for higher education, apart from your LLB, then in a particular specialization, for example, somebody is looking for corporate law or banking law or some other area, competition law, say. So if they go for a specialization in a specific area, for example, LLM inside or in India or abroad, then this would again brighten their chances. So, sir, what is your opinion regarding this?
That is true. So most of the time, master's degree, people going abroad or doing from India, it helps. This is like any other degree. It separates you from the other people. It gives
Right.
you an edge over other. So it helps surely. In my view, in short, if you ask me for a law firm entry, if someone has done masters, and if it is from overseas, it's good because in overseas, what happens? There are 2, 3 things the person develops. What? Firstly, when he studies abroad, he will have the opportunity to mix with a different crowd. He will have global uh, interaction. His footprint will be global. So he will meet with different people from different societies, different attributes. So in that situation, it is very helpful as an individual. As an individual. So my suggestion would be masters surely is helpful. If someone can do from overseas, that is even better.
Right, sir. Sir, there is this third question, and then this question is again very important because now there is a trend that a lot of students are taking too many drops. I have seen students taking up to 3 drops for getting into a national law university. So when a person enters into a job market, he has done a law schooling from a private university or from a national law university. How important is that? Because personally, I believe that a skill set is more important than a law university which you enter into. So, sir, what is your opinion regarding this?
At the entry point, Raghav, it is very crucial to have a good university. At the entry point, in a lateral entry, it doesn't matter much. Honestly, after 3, 4 years, no one sees your degree. Hardly.
Okay.
I mean, people will not see whether you have done from NLUs, whether you have done masters from Harvard. People will not see that. They
Right,
will
sir.
see your experience. So
Right.
all these things matter at the entry point.
Entry point. All right. So, moment he starts applying after graduation, at that point of time,
That point, because there'll be hosts of students, right? So amongst that large amount of students to be picked up by good firms, they usually see these distinguishing features.
right.
Where from has he passed? What has he done? What is his score in the college? Has he done masters? Or what is his communication skill? Communication is extremely important, remember. Irrespective of your qualification, if there is no communication, if no good communication, and when I say communication, it is not the way just you speak, remember. It's a combination of many things. Communication is how clearly you are able to express yourself, how unambiguously you are expressing, and of course the use of vocabularies. So everything contributes to your communication.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Sir, so what advice would you like to give to those students who do not come from, say, established universities like national or universities or good private colleges, but they are coming from traditional colleges, but they want to enter into a law firm? How can they can that bridge that gap which is existing as of now?
I'll tell you, this is about the beginning only. If you ask me, I have seen students who haven't come from marquee law schools. They have come from very average law schools, and they have made into the large law firms, top
Right,
tier law firms they are.
right,
So
sir.
it's a matter like if someone has, for whatever reason, he has missed that particular entry into those laws, good law schools, for whatever reason. It may be for that particular point he was unwell, or accept that he was not interested in study at that moment. I mean, that
Right.
may be the situation. He didn't well. In short, that's a very relevant thing, that he didn't perform. And
Right.
to be honest,
Hmm.
bite the bullet, that he didn't do well at that moment. Except that many students will be there who wouldn't have done well. They didn't study or whatever.
Right.
Now, when they look back after they've done from a medium or not so known law school, what they should do now, the crucial is enter into a small or mid-sized law firm wherever you are entering. Now it is for you to prove through your work. It's not your qualification. Your certificates are no more important, because your certificates doesn't speak much. Just give you have done law from some law school. It'll give you an entry into somewhere, but then you'll have to prove yourself through your work. So it is if you ask me, it's a 3-4 years loss. That what you head start you would have gotten. If you had done from a good law school, you would have started with a big law firm or a decent law firm. That opportunity you lose. So it'll be 3-4 years. You'll prove yourself through your work and then get into those places.
Wonderful, sir. This is something which is so relevant because people have this roadblock that if you have started with traditional college, then you don't have any other option but to try for
It's
these.
not so.
So
It's
it is, you have told the way.
I'm telling you, if you do well in your work. So what is crucial, if you ask me, between the academics and work?
Work.
Because why it is,
Hmm.
academics will give you an entry point.
Right.
Work will give you a journey,
Absolutely.
a full journey. And as long as you're working well, that
Hmm.
journey will be good. The moment you are not working well, you are not performing, that journey will be bad. So someone who has missed the bus insofar as entering into a good law school, they shouldn't be disappointed. They should focus on work. It's a matter of 3 years. They will come into the track again.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. This is something which is going to resonate with a lot of people because we as a mentorship project, we get a lot of questions like this, that sir, we did not get into good college or something which is perceived as a good college, but how can we enter into a law school? This answer of yours will give a lot of perspective to those students.
No,
Sir,
and this is very important, because many a times someone has missed out getting into a law firm. He thinks that my life is lost. There is nothing left in my career. And when he understands this, is very late. So that's the reason I also feel so. This is a very important message, very powerful message for every student. Don't disappoint. You have
it's
missed everybody, every human being in his life, somewhere or the other, he misses something. So you have missed out. Don't be disappointed. Yes, this is a lesson for you. Remember, yes, you made a mistake or you missed it, because for 20 reasons it can be. I'm not going into the reason. So
correct.
just they focus on work, they'll get on the track.
Correct, sir. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Great message, sir. Now, sir, next question is that once we are in a law school, once a student is there in a law school, then he goes and he applies for a lot of internships. So, again, there is a dichotomy in, say, a reasoning when a person says that you should go for this internship and that internship, because the idea is to get as many experiences as one want in a law school. So, how one should plan their internship, sir, and what is how, for example, if somebody is applying in a law firm for an internship and he's not getting an answer, then what is the right way to go about it?
See, unfortunately, what is happening currently, the internship is not very structured and not extremely formal in many law firms.
Hmm.
Large, mid, small law firms.
Correct.
Law schools should think about bit more on internship. What is happening, I'll tell you. Firstly, internship 1 month. For many law firms, they think that 1 month is nothing.
Correct.
See, in the journey of learning, 1 month is nothing. So when someone comes to the law firm, they will say he'll be here for a month.
Hmm.
So that seriousness may not be there. That too much of seriousness, thinking that just for a month he is coming. The student seriousness, half of the time, students are also not very serious. They just want to have some degree, that internship requirement. I do not know. I don't have an answer at the moment. what should be a good structure. There are institutions, research institution in law, and the schools, they must ponder over it, that what should be the approach of the internship. The short duration of 1 month doesn't bring in that seriousness.
Correct, sir.
So joining in a law firm, they may not get the best of the work, because the law firm also knows that he will leave in a month. Or even the shortest of the transaction or the smallest of the dispute will not be over in a month's time. So no one will prefer to give them. They will give him research on something. Half of the time, interns would do research. They would be doing research and other things, which is not bad. They see the experience. I'm saying internship is good, but it is incomplete in my view.
Right.
You see a law firm, you see the culture, you're motivated to see, okay, this is how this looks like. But, and this is how people work. So they get a real life view, a ringside view of the work and the law firm, which is good. Not having, it's better than not having at all. But
Correct.
we have miles to go.
True, sir.
We need to think about how to get the maximum advantage out of this. In my view, that is the reason we need to deliberate upon it and think about to make it more meaningful.
Right, right, correct. So, sir, is it important for a law student while he is pursuing internship to get in touch with a partner? Because this is again confusion for a lot of students that when they are doing internships, they are getting work from an associate who might be at A0 or A1, not even a senior associate. So this might not be as fruitful as somebody who's getting in direct contact with a partner. But getting in direct contact with a partner, again, it's very, very tough. As you said, that 1 month is not a very long period of time.
Yes. I'll tell you, these are two aspects to it. One, if that person, first thing, when 1 month, it is more for the student to prove that he is interested in work.
True.
Number one. So when he is working for a month, if he is diligent, this is true that he will be dealing with an associate only. So if the associate is happy with his work, no, he relays the information to the partner, remember. If the partner gets to know that there is a person who is good at work, okay. Law firms are, the structure of law firms will be small set of people working. So any law firm, a partner will be like a group of 4, 6, 8 kind. So it will be so the message is like this. He should focus in his work during that 1 month, and he should prove that he is working well with the associate, I'm telling you. Secondly, as far as should he go to the partner and meet, he should try. Relationship it's very useful.
Right.
Most partners will at least keep few minutes to listen to him.
Right.
So he go and say that I have joined as intern, sir, and this is like this. So he will necessarily ask you which law school have you come, okay. So he will judge him. In that 2-3 minutes, the partner will judge how good the person is. This is an opportunity for that student. So in that 3 minutes, he will judge how good is this person.
Right.
In every individual, as we meet with other, we judge, right? I mean, somehow we judge means we assess the person, how good, bad. So do you leave a mark in the mind of the partner within that short period? But the associate will surely go and tell, hey, sir, this is a good person to other people. So many a times when we recruit people, no, these interns, those who have worked intern, and I would suggest you something, try to go to a firm repeatedly rather than breaking and joining different firms. At least during your last 3 years, perform well. So well you perform that next time you apply, the same associate will come and tell, sir, this person is applying again. Let's take him. He's very diligent. You take him second time. Then next time you will have the ability to prove again that, okay, you have done well last time. This time also you'll do well. So 2, 3, 4 times when he does, no, then the prospects of getting him absorbed in the firm is high. So at least try in the last 2, 3 years to work in the same law firm, and tell them in the beginning, if you are very good, if you are getting recruited in the law firm through some good law firm, good for you. But suppose you are not getting selected. In that situation, ask the law firm to keep you as a what is that we call it? Keep them for a while. After passing out, so I'm forgetting the term, and then we absorb them. So initially the salary may not be very high. It may be like 75% of what usually is paid to a regular associate.
Right, sir.
In 3 to 6 months, he'll be absorbed as a regular associate.
Right, sir.
So there are many ways to get into the firm.
Great, great. Now, this gives a lot of clarity to students as to what they should do when they are in a law firm. Because getting a law internship or internship in a very good law firm, that might be easy because of networking, but what you actually do there, this is something which matters. And just because an associate is giving you some job, you should not be disheartened because yeah, yes, sir.
Associate will be your point of contact, but the associate will relay it back to his senior associate and principal associate and partner. So partner will get to know. So when the matter comes, typically the partner will look now. He will say, okay, who has done this research? See,
yes,
these couple of questions automatically come. So there is a research. So he will ask, okay, this is who did this research? Then invariably so the associate say, I did, but there is a good intern, sir. This intern has done and he's good. So we'll say, okay, who is this intern? Typically, these questions will come. Who is this intern? He'll say, okay, sir, this is from NLU Gopal. Okay, good. So
great.
then, now it is registered in the mind of the partner. Great. So the person comes twice because in my firm, we have engaged people like this who have done 3-4 times with interns. We have engaged them.
Right. Great, sir. Great, sir. This is, again, for all our viewers, this is such an important point to note that once you get work, do not just think that when I will get to contact the partner directly, just focus on the work which is given to you. Eventually, if your work is good, you will be contacted by that partner or your partner will
be known. You'll be known and recognized.
Correct, sir. So now coming over to the last leg of our interaction. Once a person or once a law student or a graduate gets into a law firm as an associate, there are so many teams which are there in a law firm. There is a corporate team, competition law team, banking team, infrastructure team. And if he joins a team and for 1 year he works in that team and he doesn't like that team, or he feels that his calling is somewhere in some other team. First is, sir, is it advisable that at that point of time, say after 6 months or 8 months, he should directly approach the other team that, look, I have been recruited in this team, but I believe that I can contribute in a better manner, or my inclination lies in your area. And what advice would you give to those law graduates who have been in such kind of a situation for 2 to 3 years? For a longer period of time, not for 1 year, 2 years, but 2 to 3 years, for example, like indirect taxation. But then they believe that it has become very monotonous and they want something else. Maybe they want to switch to disputes. So first is whether this is advisable. Second is what approach they should follow in a structured environment.
Okay, look, this is very common. You get into somewhere when you are a student, you are fascinated with something, which is good. But for whatever reason, then subsequently when you enter, you find that this is not so great. Why you find that it is not so great? In the firm, you see people who are working in different disciplines. You find that their job is more interesting, they're more recognized whatsoever. There are various reasons why we get disillusioned over period of time. So now it's a moment. So you think that I would like to change my career. And look, this is in 3 years you are telling. This change of career comes not in 3 years. It comes time and again in your career. In 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, people think of changing their career. So in my view, if you ask me, this should be welcome in my view. If you are not interested, don't stick to that one. Only thing what the problem, if you ask me, is our financial situation. That's a real situation. Because when you change line, the firm will not, either many firms will say that no, we don't wish to, we don't encourage this. So you have to change, go to a different firm or to different place. Or so in that situation, if you are going, then you are losing, you'll be losing some money for sure, 100%. So if you are getting X amount, you may be getting 0.75 or maybe 0.5 or maybe 0.40. So in that situation, this is a more financial call you'll have to take. So in the initial years, it becomes not so difficult. Suppose in 3-4 years, the responsibilities would not be high for the student. He may be still single. So he can still afford to change career. It may be difficult, but he has to be thinking that asking the firm to change his career, allow him to change his career track without compromising on the financials is very difficult. No firm will allow that. So the person, because it's the person's choice, so he should be mindful of this and he should take this call, because in the long run, he should think about the long run of his career. In the long run, it's good for him. So in the short run, he should lose some financials, in my view. So my suggestion to them is that they should compromise on this. They should take some cut in their financials, in their compensation, and change to that new thing where they think. But they should be always changing. They should also think some logical thinking should have been there. Why are they planning to change? I'll tell you why they should. Many times, people get into not the mainstream law, but the side laws. Side laws means I'm saying some specific practice area they will get, which is not typically may not be the mainstream, as you said, indirect taxation, many times IPR. So similar specific lines may not be much interest over period. They will find that this has not big career prospect. Maybe career prospect may be there, but they will find that I'm not acting like a lawyer, or sometimes people think like this.
Right.
So it's better to be in the beginning, to be in the mainstream law, like in the corporate side, either it is M&A, general corporate, infrastructure, this kind of thing, banking, finance. These are the mainstream, everywhere it will be there. So in the beginning, if you are trained for a while, then you can think of adding other things. So rather than just specializing in a very niche area and adding the mainstream becomes difficult, remain in the mainstream, like dispute is a very mainstream practice. But in law firms, disputes and corporate are segregated. If someone is in dispute, again, difficult for him to go to corporate. If he is in corporate, difficult to come in the disputes. So this is also a broad segregation. One has to understand that. But so within corporate, again, as I said, there are few mainstream practices. So it's better to, at least in the beginning of the career, maybe few years, 2-3 years, then one can get into other places. But many law firms, what they do, when they recruit people, they give him experiences in different areas for a few months.
Yes, rotation system is there. Correct.
System is there.
Yes.
So this also helps them to understand the function and then help him to choose the right path.
Correct, sir. This is very, very insightful, sir, because a lot of lawyers are going through this. And moreover, sir, this is also happening that, for example, cyber law. Then cyber law has come, and then, as you said, that since it is a niche areas, and a lot of people are going into cyber law, and they believe that this is something that they would want to enter. But at a later stage, they, as you said, that feeling of lawyer, it is not coming from within when they are working on this. So they might think for something else. But then this answer gives a lot of perspective to those people that it is better, and it is, although it's best to stick to the core areas.
Yes, whatever he thinks, otherwise his contribution will always be suboptimal. If you are not convinced in a particular job, you go in the morning, you are not interested. You always think that what am I doing? So nothing, the best thing will not come out of you.
Correct,
sir. It doesn't make sense.
Correct,
so take, in my view, if possible, to take some cut. Financial cut. It is still advisable to take some financial cut and go for your calling, what you like.
True, sir. True, sir. So now coming over to the last question. Sir, there are a lot of students who would want to end up as a partner in a law firm. But when they enter into a law firm, because the kind of atmosphere and environment is there, which is absolutely competitive and crunch hours are there, all of these things, then they would, after 2 to 3 years, they end up leaving law firms and they would start to look for career in an in-house or some alternative form. So, first question is that what advice would you give to those people? Because they would want to change their career from first law firm to some other. Why? Because they are not able to handle the pressure. Maybe the expectation they had was something else. So, in order to answer this question, sir, if you could throw some light on the what are those benchmarks on the basis of which law firm analyzes the performance of the associates and senior associates who are working in order to understand the career trajectory in a better manner. And second, that if somebody would want to leave law firm and enter into corporate or an in-house or other, what piece of advice would you give to those people as to what are those skill sets they should develop in order to enter into that area as well?
So the first question, you are saying what should he do to become successful or to become a partner in a law firm?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you, this is the same thing. Yes, if he is performing well, means see, law firms are places, I'll tell you, where it is the performance which matters. Everything. Very, in my view, very less politics. Very less politics. It will be pure performance-driven organizations, most
Right.
of. So he has to be good in his work, number one. Second, availability. Availability in law firm, what happens? It's a service industry. So the law firm, the people they have to they have to be available as per the need of the client. So it need not be like it's just typical 10 to 5 kind of work. In a law firm situation, one has to be prepared for working very late, working on holidays, and working. But this is a need. We
Yeah.
can't keep it. And there may be situations there if there is no work, even on a working day, regular weekdays, there if there is no work or less work, he can ask his partner or his immediate boss, supervisor, to say it, okay, there is no work, let me go and do something or be at rather chill and stay at home. So that's also possible. So law firm, in the flexibility is very important in law firms. Apart from your knowledge means you should be able to work.
Right.
You should be able to work diligently and should be flexible enough to work in as per the need of the client.
Right,
So,
sir.
in my view, if you ask me, these are the two important things which are
Okay.
essential
Right.
to become successful in a law firm.
Right, sir.
What is your second question?
The second question was that if somebody wants to do law firm and
In-house. Go
yes,
in-house. In-house is also now there are a lot of in-house job. It is the in-house market has matured now. I mean, it has been there. It has been there. In-house jobs have been there, but now the in-house has matured. In-house roles have become very, now they are becoming leader. It's not earlier. It was told like lawyers in in-house where it's a go-between kind to the law firm or the lawyers. They were helping,
right,
but now they are the business leaders, and which is true. They are business leader from every point of view, as far as the satisfaction, compensation, from all points of view, it has matured. So if someone wants to join in-house, that's also advisable. It depends on him, remember. First
right.
thing, he like to remain in a law firm. What happens in a law firm? You are conducting. Remember the differences. In a law firm, you conduct yourself.
Right.
In in-house role, you instruct someone. So
Correct.
that's the major difference. So if you think to become if your interest is towards a little bit more on business, so
Right.
if in-house role, you can become CEO also. There are many lawyers who are becoming CEO. So if you have business acumen and you think that you want to be in-house, so therein you can pick up business roles also. So
Right.
over time, you can lead an organization, business organization. Here it is mostly lawyering. In a law firm, it's a lawyering. So if
Hmm.
you wish to be like in the lawyering side, you like a lot, possibly you should be in the law firm.
Right.
House also you do lawyering, but also it's a intermingling of business and law both, because pure law will not be helpful. In the organization, they will look at you to advise them
Hmm.
what is good for the business, how
Hmm.
will they succeed in their business legally.
Right.
So there is an interface of business and law to a greater extent. So
Right.
it's slightly different than pure lawyering.
Right.
So one has to decide what he feels. Where does he like to be? So
Correct.
that should think about.
Correct. Great. Great. Sir, it was a great session, and there were so many questions which were unanswered, and particularly answer coming from you, who is an established partner in an established law firm. This is going to give great insights to a lot of aspirants and law students as well. So, sir, just before we end the session, this final word of wisdom from you for all our aspirants and those people who would want to get into law firm.
Final wisdom, if you ask me, will be for any law firm to become successful. As I said, it has to be like how would I put it? It is the commitment, his interest. If you ask me in any law firm, it is everybody works, but there are few people who are successful, right? So in that situation, for the person to become successful, it is his how it has to be flexible firstly in any firm. Because it is, as I said, it's a service industry. Flexibility, commitment. I wouldn't put hard work. In my view, hard work is an overused term. I don't think hard work, 8-9 hours of work is not hard work in my view. This is fun, right? It's like if it is 15 hours, 14, 15 hours, it is hard work, one would say. 8-10 hours, with 10 hours of work also, one would be decently successful in my view.
Right. Right. Okay, sir. Sir, it was great having you, sir, in on the platform of the Mentorship Project for this very insightful session. And like you have been helping us before, and we would always hope that you would keep helping us in future as well as an expert mentor. So, on behalf of the whole team of the Mentorship Project, I would like to thank you for this wonderful session, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, Raghav, and to everyone in your team, the mentees. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well